Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I want to thank Ellen and Bobby and Daniel. You did well up there. I want to thank the members of the state legislature who are here, the Senate and the House, the former members of the state legislature that I see here as well. I want to thank the members of Congress, my pal Richie Neal from Springfield, who we actually lived together for 12 years down there trying to save expenses. Former colleague Steve Lynch, thank you very much, Steve. Congresswoman Nikki Tsongas and Congressman Joe Kennedy III. Joe, thanks very much for being here. Your father was here earlier to wish his happiness, and I appreciated that. I want to thank the former members of Congress, colleagues of mine that are here. My friend from Illinois, Jerry Costello, thanks for being here, Jerry. My friend Chet Atkins, who's been so instrumental in helping me in my position, both at Lowell and getting adjusted to the Congress. Chet, thanks for being here. Congressman John Tierney, John, thanks very much for being here. I appreciate that. And Congressman Peter Blute. Peter, I appreciate your being here. I also want to thank Vicki Kennedy. And Vicki, you're in this incredible institute. And all I can think to myself is how proud Teddy would be of the job that you've done in pushing his vision forward. Thank you. Chairman Woolrich, Governor Baker, I thank the governor for his support and his confidence. My colleague and Senator Ed Markey, thank you so much. The Speaker of the House, Bob DeLeo, appreciate the Speaker being here. Senate President Stan Rosenberg, thank you very much. Mayor Walsh, Vice President Marcy Williams, and also Nolan Amanda did a great job. And I want to thank Father Matt Malone for his comments as UMass Amherst alum, and you're going to hear from Father Nick Sinella. He has a 6:30 Mass, so I better get through this quickly. I am pleased to be formally accepting the presidency of the University of Massachusetts, here at the Edward M. Kennedy Institute, on the campus of UMass Boston. This location is particularly special to me because of Senator Kennedy's work in many areas, including education, because of what he meant to me personally, and because what this peninsula represents in symbolic and very tangible terms. I was at Madison Square Garden 35 years ago as a Kennedy delegate when Senator Kennedy, in a rare moment of political defeat, electrified the nation and fired the hearts and minds when he concluded his speech. The work goes on, the cause endures, the hope still lives, and the dream will never die. That night in New York, Senator Kennedy was talking and speaking about the causes and dreams of the American people and his fallen brothers, two men who inspired me and inspired many of you gathered here today. And it's fitting that we remember those dreams in this replica of the chamber Ted loves so much. So as I accept this position, I think of the dreams of President Kennedy, of Robert and Edward Kennedy, and I think of other dreams as well. I think of the dreams of two great Republican leaders, Congressman and later Senator Justin Morrill from Vermont, and Abraham Lincoln, who created the land-grant university system in 1862, and in doing so gave life to one of the truly great national inventions of this country. I think of the dreams of school kids living not so far from here in Dorchester, the dreams of immigrants newly arrived in Lowell and Lawrence, and of a single mother in Springfield who just wants a better life for her children. I think of Dr. Martin Luther King and my friend John Lewis, and of their dreams of a just and fair America. I think of the dreams of people like Professor Wilmore Wilbley, who appeared in the video that you just saw. He was born in rural Jamaica. His parents were farmers. They couldn't read or write, but they were so intent on creating a better future for their son that they endured immense financial hardship to help him obtain the education that led to the Fulbright Scholarship that brought him to UMass Amherst for graduate study. And today, Professor Webley is a beloved teacher, a distinguished researcher, and he is the director of UMass Amherst's Pre-Med Advising Program. I think of Jacob Miller, our UMass Dartmouth student trustee and Truman Scholar, who after his freshman year played a leading role in fixing a flaw in the state's healthcare law that forced a number of college students to choose between health insurance coverage or remaining in school. I think of UMass medical students whose sense of service compels them to volunteer in food pantries in Worcester and combat blindness in Ghana, Western Africa. Of our UMass Boston, New England's only majority-minority university, launching more than 30 technology and life sciences startup companies from its Venture Capital Development Center. I think of David Tretol, a young veteran from UMass Lowell who's using his expertise to create a web platform that will help other veterans locate the services they need and the services that they deserve. I think of an America where everyone has the opportunity to hone his or her talents and succeed in any endeavor, where everybody has a seat at the table and a chance to stand and soar. I also think of the dream that my parents had for 7 kids living in a small house in a hard-edged section of Lowell, and the public university, the University of Massachusetts, that breathed life into those dreams. My parents didn't have the opportunity to go to college. My father worked as a newspaper compositor and supplemented what he earned at the Lowell Sun by working at night as a guard at the county jail. And although work consumed many, many hours of his week, my father, Martin Buster Meehan, was an avid reader, and he surrounded himself with hundreds of books. And my mother, Alice Sissy Meehan, was very focused on raising 7 children and instilled a love for learning in all of us. My father said that education was a powerful force that would change our lives, that would give us richer, fuller, and more meaningful lives. And though no one in the family had ever graduated from college, the fact that we would go to college and earn degrees, that was a given. It was understood because of UMass. So throughout my life, as an education and political science major at UMass Lowell, as a student teacher at Lowell High School, in Congress as chancellor at UMass Lowell, and other positions of public service, I now, as I take the presidency of the University of Massachusetts, I see myself as carrying the torch that my parents lit. It is a torch that I hold proudly, and I hold it knowing how hard they worked to create a better future for their children and their grandchildren, and remembering the great joy my parents experienced when those better futures arrived. It is a torch that I will always hold high. I believe that it is particularly fitting in this location from which we launched this journey. Here in Columbia Point, where you can watch the sunrise over Dorchester Bay and feel the promise of a new day. On this peninsula, you can see the arc of a dream, the Edward M. Kennedy Institute, the John F. Kennedy Presidential Library, and the University of Massachusetts. You see the fruits of dreams already dreamt and can witness dreams being born. It is my firm belief that the University of Massachusetts is the most important institution in Massachusetts in the critical areas of social mobility and economic growth. And I believe the numbers support that assertion. As 5 campuses of the University of Massachusetts, we educate 73,000 students a year and award 17,000 degrees annually. In addition to awarding a large number of degrees, we also produce graduates in areas of critical importance to Massachusetts and its future, ranking first or second in the number of degrees awarded in engineering, computer science, business management, health professions, physical sciences, mathematics and statistics, education, biological and biomedical sciences. We are the academic institution that shapes the workforce, that conducts the research, that fuels the state's innovation economy. And we do this at 5 campuses in more than 75 academic, research, and outreach centers. We are the future of Massachusetts. And we have reached this position of achievement and international acclaim as a result of the hard work of many people. But this afternoon, I would like to recognize the leadership of 3 of my predecessors. President Sherry Penny, who in addition to serving as president, also led UMass Boston with distinction for 12 years. President Jack Wilson's, whose many accomplishments include the founding CEO of UMass Online, championing research and development. What I really love about Jack, he had great judgment. He chose me to be the chancellor of UMass Lowell. Thank you, Jack. And a former president who was a pioneer in stressing the importance of excellence, and who set us on a road of modernizing, fundraising, rebuilding our campuses. He told Massachusetts that it had a public research university that it should be proud of. And I don't think this president has ever gotten the credit he deserves. And today, I salute him. Please join me in welcoming President William N. Bulger. While we will continue to offer our students a traditional academic experience, our role as the state's public research university compels us to be nimble and to offer citizens and the business community educational programs that people and the economy require. In doing so, we're being very consistent with our land-grant roots and purpose. It's what we mean when we say UMass is here for a reason. So to that end, we are working with Governor Baker and our other legislative leaders to enhance our online programs, develop two programs, and move more students, particularly students from underrepresented communities, into the STEM pipeline. We are focused on affordability. In working with the governor and the legislature, with UMass Online and our community college president partners, we are committed to providing the citizens of the Commonwealth with a path to a $30,000 to $35,000 UMass degree. Governor Baker talked about 3-year degrees during his campaign. Well, we have developed a 3-year degree at UMass Amherst. We developed it at UMass Lowell. It's now developed at UMass Dartmouth, and it will be developed at UMass Boston. And these may not be the paths that every student will choose to take. Many students and families will still opt for traditional campus-based educational experience. But these new paths will be right for some students, and so they should be made available to all students. Now, opinions are good, and we love the fact that we have an ever-changing world and will make strides to accommodate that. But what we will never do is compromise on the quality of an education. We will increase our educational programs in research and public service, but we will be committed to a foundation of excellence. That's why our students and faculty are now winning prestigious national and international awards. That's why enrollment at UMass is soaring, and that's why we were just named one of the most innovative universities in the world. And given our focus on affordability, I am so pleased that this inauguration has generated $1.6 million for scholarships that will benefit students throughout the UMass system. And I thank many of you today who contributed to this effort. In supporting this inauguration, you are giving the gift of opportunity and transformation. I began this week by spending a day visiting each of our campuses, and I was so inspired. I'm constantly inspired by our students, our faculty, and our staff. And I thank the UMass community for achieving at the highest level and for the warm reception I received from each campus. In accepting this office, I vow to our students, our faculty, our alumni, and everyone in the UMass family, I will passionately fight for you. I also want to thank Chairman Victor Woolridge, Secretary Jim Pizer, and the members of the Board of Trustees for the confidence that you have placed in me. The journey from UMass student to UMass president is one I never would have dreamed of when I first set foot on the Lowell campus. But as we know, this university truly transformed lives. But you do me a great honor. I thank our chancellors for their daily encouragement and support. I thank the Governor Baker and the legislature. Your support means a great deal to me, but more importantly to the University of Massachusetts. So let's carry this torch. Let's fight this fight together, because it's a fight worth fighting for. Thank you very much.